Hi, I'm Phil and welcome to the show. Today, I'm back with my QuakeCon Retrospective series. We had a little bit of a break. I was fiddling around with a few things and focusing on Diabolical. We've skipped 2 years of QuakeCon, okay? We've skipped 2005. I've talked about this before. 2005, Doom 3 Grand Final. No one wants to watch that. We've skipped 2006. 2006 was a Quake 4 Grand Final. I cannot work out how to play the QuakeCon 2006 demo because my version of Quake 4 is too new and I can't revert it. If someone can work that out, please send me a message. I would love to cover that game. But we're here with QuakeCon 2007. I'm going to waste no time getting underway with this, and while this game's going, I'm going to talk a little bit about why QuakeCon 2007 is so weird. And right off the bat, we're going to be on Toxic, on Campgrounds, DM6, and straight off the bat, Tox is going to miss the most iconic strafe jump, circle jump in Quake history. He misses the bridge to rail. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment to the game. So you might be asking, right, if you're a Quake historian, you might be wondering why they're playing Quake 3, because this is in like the peak or maybe the end of Tox's dominance in Quake 4, right? And this would be a weird year for Quake, right? As, you know, Fox, he gets a bit cheeky on that red armor, he gets some good damage, but Toxic has no issues pushing him for that first frag. QuakeCon 2007, okay? There's a lot to say about this year. Because it was the 10th anniversary of QuakeCon, they decided it would be fun to make these guys play Quake 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or good pressure from Fox here at this red armor, but he cannot stand up to the rockets of Tox. That was really, really solid rocketing. People always talk about Tox's hit scan, and we're going to see some good hit scan in this game. You know, I can feel it in my soul, but you can't sell Tox's rocket short. Every aspect of his game is really good. And what we can expect to see from Fox on the other end, really phenomenal aim as well. Toxic collecting this mega health, wastes no time getting above the red armor. The thing that Fox is really going to bring to this game is just really creative combat skills, right? And honestly, at this point in time, you know, I don't know how much Fox can bring to someone like Tox, especially in Quake 3 and Quake 4. Quake 1 and Quake 2, some of the weirder games in the tournament, some of the games that Tox had not played so much, sure. But Quake 3, this is Tox's wheelhouse, you know. Especially Campgrounds, you know, like these guys have been playing this map since like 1999, 2000. They've got more experience than I do on this map at this point, right? And I've been playing Quake, well, for almost 10 years. It's crazy to think now that we're reaching a point where we're going to start seeing players who have played Quake for as long as I have now, but, you know, over 10 years ago. And these guys have only continued to really pretty much improve, right? The standard has continued to get higher and higher, especially from this year. We're going to see things get really crazy. So you're going to notice I'm kind of podcasting more in this episode than commentating the game. It's because I started trying to commentate this game seriously, and it's pretty one-sided, and we're going to see this. Like, Tox, he's just in control, okay? He's just cycled this red, he's cycled onto Mega. Fox, where is he? He comes for this yellow. This is an LG fight where if you're Fox, you're like, hey, if I win this, I could get a big advantage. But Tox comes out on top, you know. Fox is really hungry to just try and sneak onto one of these red armors. Tox has the rockets to say no. Fox maybe hoping Tox would get greedy and drop down. Tox is prepared, okay? I don't know if Tox and Fox are players who like would have practiced a lot together for this. They are fellow Swedes. I don't know if they have like much of a history together in terms of duel practice. And when you're playing DM6 and your opponent is so confident that they're denying your yellow armor, you're just having the worst day, okay? Fox is trying to give Tox a taste of his own medicine, and Fox, you know, I rate him as a rocket player. He hits some really, really good shots. But in this instance, when he's had his yellow armor denied, that pressure, it just leaves Fox with nothing, okay? The LG of Tox shreds away any health he has. Tox can be here to deny this yellow as well. Fox hoping to stick around with the pressure for the drop down with Tox, and Fox just doesn't have the stack to commit heavily to it. He's going to try and sneak onto a red, and this is great. If he doesn't take that rail, he would be in an awesome situation. And Tox even reads out the double back. I'm not sure if that was a sound thing or just like a huge commitment. It looks like Fox did pick up a mega in there somewhere, so maybe not quite as weak as I'm giving him giving him credit for. Tox maybe getting a little bit greedy, but Tox in his element is a Tox who can just charge around the map, pick up items, and, you know, just pick every aim fight that he wants to pick, okay? Because when you watch Tox in this era, right, like he's hitting everything, he's extremely confident, but when you see more of a weakness in Tox's game, especially in Quake Live, it's when he's out of control. Sometimes it genuinely looks like he just doesn't know what to do against a really strong player like, you know, Cypher or Rafa, guys who really put the pressure on him, and guys who can also stand up to his aim. So Fox has done well here. He's really slowed down the pace in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and actually gets into a really good position there. Again, you know, what does Tox want to get to? Fox is there first, and he's got the perfect shot lined up to tell Tox that he has no place at this item. Apologies in advance, by the way, if I get these guys' names mixed up at some point. Tox, Fox, it's gonna happen, okay? It's gonna happen. You know, Fox is just taking what's his right now. Again, really respectful and cautious play from Tox. He's got a 4-frag lead, he doesn't want to give it away. That rail would have been the frag. The railgun doing 100 damage in this version of Quake 3. And Tox just has to run away. You can see Fox respects Tox though, right? Like he's not just going to dive down into that LG because you only have to learn once what happens when you dive into Tox's LG. Alright, Fox just looking for any... Tox, I did it. I said Fox and I meant Tox. Tox looking for any chip damage onto that Mega, actually able to dive onto it because Fox was over at that red. Maybe he should have been looking to maybe like damage Tox before. And it seems like Tox is actually a little bit unsure about when this red is, which is kind of weird because, well, actually, okay, he wasn't close enough to like hear it really, but it seems pretty obvious there that that Fox came to that Mega from red. Tox has time to get to this position. Fox should be there to block him off. Absolutely correct play here. Tox, yep, he's just not even going to peek for it, and that's the right call. If you take a bad rocket or a bad rail, you know, you're left on 30 HP. Easy push for Fox to get the frag. Instead, Tox can sit around here. He can afford to take a little bit of splash damage. You know, he can afford to splash damage himself a little. It's fine. He just puts that pressure on. He doesn't make anything of it, but there's the potential there to hit a spam rocket, and it's much more likely that Tox gets good damage there than Fox onto that Mega. Fox blocks Tox away from this red armor for long enough that Fox should be able to get on and just grab it. Nice exit damage here. Tox does all of this unreturned, and suddenly Fox's lead has evaporated, right? He'd worked himself slowly and carefully back into control, and then Tox just says, nope, one little moment with LG, it's all it takes. And now, now it's brown trouser time for Fox again. Again, Tox loves to punish Fox. This is starting to sound like a Dr. Seuss novel here. Fox loves to go for these dives onto red. Tox loves to punish them. Perfect LG in the air there. You know, you really can't hit any smoother aerial LG than that. And Fox, now everything he's worked for has just fallen apart, and it's all that one catch down at the stairs, right on the exit of that red armor. Once Tox gets this cycle back, what do, right? Because he's going to hit you really hard. He knows how to put pressure on the spawns. He's going to go straight from this Mega to red and collect it cleanly. He's got another good gap between the next red and Mega, except next time he will go red first, then Mega. And yeah, I mean, look, Tox, he's probably just going to charge towards the bridge. Unfortunately, he messes up his movement there. That might actually give Fox a setup towards this red, potentially from above. Maybe he's going to go for like a rail or something. I wouldn't be surprised if Fox is up here. And I think that's kind of what Tox is looking for as well. Fox may be actually hoping to steal away this Mega. This could be dicey. And Fox just playing so quiet. Oh, look at how clinical that play is from Tox, right? Like, he knew Fox was going to try something there. You don't sit around and be that quiet as Fox if you don't have something tricky up your sleeve. And just the perfect rockets to punish, you know. Again, people talk about Tox LG. He hits really nice rockets as well when it counts. Perfect. Again, Tox is just such a delight to watch aim, okay? It's so smooth, it's so consistent. It's delightful. It's delightful. This man never flicks for a rail, right? Or when he flicks, it's basically like he's aiming normally, just in slow motion. Yeah? Does that make sense? But yeah, from here we're going to get one more awkward QuakeCon, and then they're all going to be amazing games. Look at that railgun. Holy crap. You know, you literally can't see your opponent on the screen. But yeah, no, like I was saying, we're going to have one more awkward QuakeCon. We're going to have QuakeCon 2008, the famous, like, you know, 1 AM game, jet-lagged Cypher versus 04, and it's gonna be not the most entertaining game. They play one map, that one map is almost lost. It's the first QuakeCon with Quake Live. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to. You know, I mean, Cypher's first appearance, he's gonna become a pretty important player in the story. Toxic, unfortunately, this is going to be the only time we're going to see him in a grand final, right? Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but Toxic is going to be pretty much entirely absent from my QuakeCon grand final story. He was the most dominant Quake 4 player, and his dominance in Quake 4 makes him the most dominant Quake player ever, basically, right? Like, no one else has ever dominated a game of Quake as hard as Tox dominated Quake 4. Quake Live's going to be split out, and we're going to see that reflected really strongly in the grand finals. But yeah, Tox is a monster. He does still play in Quake Live, he just never quite gets up to the same heights as he does here, partly because Quake Live has different weapon balance, like LG and Rail aren't as strong, so I believe Tox actually said when they made some balance changes in late Quake 4, that they were deliberately trying to nerf him. Also, Tox, you know, comes up against players like Avec, players like Cypher, you know, small Eastern European children, as Too Good puts it, coming onto the scene. Guys with just like the most insane mechanics. So we're really going to see the game change after this year, and it's going to change, you know, into a much more polished game, in my opinion. Not to sell anything these guys are doing short, because this is really solid Quake, right? But over the next, like 2008 through 2016, we're just going to see the game get to a new crazy level. And I kind of forgot here that these duels go for 15 minutes. Man, this is also going to be the last event we see with a 15-minute duel. They're going to be 10 minutes from here on out, and you know, if they're one-sided, that's going to be 5 less awkward minutes for me to try and fill. Oh boy. Oh, look at how smooth that rocket is from Tox. He can finish this frag off. He can finish this frag off, I believe. Slightly uncharacteristic there, but and look at this. I love the respectful play as well. He backs away. He doesn't go out for that mega, but he knows that one little angle there where you can get that tiny little catch. And with 100 damage rail of Quake 3, it is almost always worth looking for that, right? Because if you hit that rail, you know, your opponent who's getting mega and red, oh no, Fox. Fox, he's hunting for the frags. He leaves the mega sitting up. Is he tilted? Has he just accepted defeat? Who's to say here? Man, this is also going to be the last time we see classic DM6 spawns, right? Like, look at how weird some of these spawns are. Tox can just be all over Fox like a rash. There's no, like... Well, there are some spawn protection rules in Quake 3, but Quake Live is much more generous with how it protects fresh spawns. And the maps are a bit more balanced around spawns, right? Like, they remove a bunch of spawns from Blood Run throughout the history of the game, so that you don't get weird spawns where, you know, you can just really easily be rocketed by someone crouching down on the mega health. It's a weird game, but yeah, after this year, and especially after next year, the quality of games in this series is going to go through the roof, and it's just a bit of a pity we've had to get through some awkward ones to get here, but as I've said, watching Toxic, such a delight, and he's such an important player in Quake history. It would be sad to not see him here. And it's especially sad to not have his grand final against Cooler from Quake 4 from 2006 in this series, which would also be Cooler's first appearance in a grand final. Again, a player we're going to see quite a lot of, right? Or we're going to see from again, at least, right? A player who's going to become really important in the story of Quake Live, or remain really important, I should say. Like, Cooler's been relevant at the top level of Quake since, 2002 until today. It's insane. It's insane consistency. So we're going to see a bit of him in grand finals. I don't know, I always hate when the end of these videos turn into a sales pitch for what's to come, but really, that's what we should be looking forward to here. And that's why a QuakeCon like this is so exciting, because it gives me so much time to talk about how great Toxic is, and how great some of the players we're going to see in the next few years are going to be. Tox, he is not letting up on the gas here, okay? He wants to control these yellow armors. He is about to rush in and deny another red. This situation for Fox, it's got to be said, right? In the final minute, 17 points down, Fox is still denying Tox the bridge position. Like, he's not taking any shit here. He's getting absolutely demolished because Tox just knows how to play this map better. He's hitting better shots. He just is the better player in this instance, right? You don't have an 18 frag margin where one player doesn't just clearly outclass the other. And this has been QuakeCon 2007, the grand final, the one Quake 3 map played in this grand final. I recommend you check out some of the other games from this tournament because, like I said, watching Tox and Fox play like Aerowalk Quake 1, real weird time. So that's pretty much all there is to say about this. I actually think about 5 minutes ago was all there is to say about this game. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been really fun. I'm going to do QuakeCon 2008 soon. That's going to be really fun. And then 2009 onwards, shit's going to get real. So I've been Phylum, and I'll catch you next time.